My faith, the faith I shared with Charlie Kirk, teaches me to love my neighbors as myself. Not just my neighbors who look like me, or pray like me, or vote like me. I am tired of being pitted against my neighbor. I am tired of being told to hate my neighbor. People across the political spectrum in this state and in this country are hungry for a different kind of politics. Not a politics of fear, not a politics of hate, not a politics of violence, but a politics of love. A love that can heal what's broken in this country.
That right there, Texas State Representative and now candidate for U.S. Senate, Democrat James Tallarico, speaking just hours after the murder of Charlie Kirk. Joining us now, Democratic Texas State Representative, God, I'm going to get it right at one point, and now candidate for U.S. Senate, James Tallarico. I'm sorry for that, sir. Thank you for joining us.
It's a mouthful.
So I want to ask you about something that I heard from I heard from you just there, but also from the governor of Utah, which he said, get offline. You know, social media is a virus. Get offline and touch grass. I thought that was a good way to put it, especially because it speaks to the younger generation. And you're saying something of the same, that people are hungry for this connection, this community, a reason not to hate each other. How much of our fear and our anger is online, only online, and it makes us think it's everywhere and makes us scared of each other? How much of it is just there and us reacting to that?
Well, you know, that event that you just showed footage from was supposed to be a rally for my new campaign in San Antonio, Texas. And I was actually on my way to San Antonio when I got the news about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And to be very honest with you, I thought about canceling the event altogether. But then I remembered that the goal of political violence is separating people from one another, making folks afraid of one another. And so I felt like if I canceled this gathering of neighbors, it would be giving in to political violence. So I decided to change it from a political rally to a community conversation about this violence in our politics and in our country. And honestly, it was healing for me to be there with so many people across the political spectrum. It wasn't just Democrats. There were independents, Republicans there too, people from all different backgrounds and beliefs. And we all came together to talk about what's broken in America and how we can start to heal it. And so despite all of this violence, this darkness, this death, I do believe that something new is going to rise out of those ashes. And I hope we can all be part of that.
I guess what I mean to say, and I'll ask it a little bit better because I think I jumbled it up. Do you think that there is a real desire out there among the majority of people, maybe even the vast majority of people, to get along and to not be so angry? And that really, if we stopped looking online, we would not feel so scared of each other and we would have a better chance of coming together.
I do. We're all, I think, trapped in systems that bring out the worst in us. Social media is a huge part of it. The algorithms that, I should say, are owned by some of the wealthiest people in our country, those algorithms intentionally divide us. They profit off of our outrage, off of our divisions. That's what gets clicks, and therefore that's what gets profit for these platforms and for the billionaires who own them. I think it's important that we all recognize that we're all being manipulated. We're all being played off of each other. We're being pitted against each other. It's not just social media, though. There is some of this in traditional media, and it's certainly existing in our politics. Those same billionaires donate a lot of money to elected officials who then are the ones fighting on our screens and fanning these flames. So it's not just online, it is everywhere. But instead of trying to assign blame to one another, I think we should all start looking up at the very powerful people and powerful forces that are tearing us apart that are making us fall into this terrible politics of ours that we've had for more than 10 years now. And it does feel like across the spectrum, people are sick of it and ready to turn the page and start a new kind of politics.
It certainly would be nice. You are now officially running for Senate in the state of Texas. You've got a lot of other Democrats running as well. We can put up the Texas primary polling just to show everybody where it currently stands. There's Beto on there at 27%, Jasmine Crockett, who I don't believe is officially announced, 26%, Colin Allred, 13%, you 7%, and Joaquin Castro below you at 4%. Obviously, it's still quite early and these numbers could change. Tell me why you think you are the best person for the job.
And I'm probably the least known out of all those friends of mine that you just listed. And I greatly admire all those Democrats. And I'm running a positive campaign trying to put forward a new vision for our party and for our state in this election. You know, I first got elected when I flipped a Trump district that no one thought was winnable. No one thought that race was even possible. I was told I was too young. I was told I didn't have enough money or enough political connections. But I ran an underdog campaign. I ran an authentic, aggressive, unconventional campaign. At one point, I walked the entire length of the district, 25 miles in the Texas heat, and held town halls along the way, live streamed the whole thing on social media. And so that's the playbook that I'm taking statewide. Since I'm the underdog in the primary and in the general, I think that's liberating and allows me to do things that most candidates wouldn't do, and to try new strategies and new tactics to try to grow this party. Because right now we're not winning elections in Texas or across the country. So something needs to change. And I hope to be part of that change in this campaign.
Can I ask you a campaign issue that I know will end up being a hot topic issue? It's one of the more difficult policy issues, but Republicans have been leading on it up until recently when Donald Trump's polling is starting to tank on immigration. What is your stance on immigration? What will be your pitch to the voters of Texas?
Well, I think Texas should lead on immigration because we are so familiar with it. My family is from South Texas. My mom is from Laredo, which is right on the border with Mexico. And immigration is what made Texas so great and so special. We're this big mashup of all these different people and culture and food and music. At the same time, all of us want a sane immigration system that ensures public safety. We want a secure border. I oftentimes will compare our border to a front porch. We want a welcome mat out front and a lock on the door. Those are not mutually exclusive. We deserve to know who's coming into our country. We deserve to have a vetting process to ensure if there are criminals who mean to do us harm, they don't enter our country. But if you're coming here to raise your family, to start a business, to contribute to our economy and to our communities and live your own American dream, then you should be welcomed, because probably the most common commandment in my faith tradition is welcome the stranger. And the Bible says we should do that because we were all once strangers. Katie, you would not be having a guy with the last name Tallarico on your show if this was not a nation of immigrants. So we can do both. We can ensure that we have a sane, safe immigration system and welcome the strangers who want to live the American dream.
Texas State Representative, now a candidate for Texas Senate, James Tallarico. Got it right there. Thank you so much for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.